Okay, here we go. And I'll start off with a little presentation. So welcome officially to Siebel Friday. So sorry for that. It's can you see my screen?
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. Yes, I guess so. Now you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Always a challenge for the elderly. So yeah, so what's the news on Siebel 24.4? And the news is that as of this very time of recording, it's under controlled release, which is a first in Siebel Fridays. We always had a new Siebel release to talk about, but this time it is still controlled. So yeah, I have no news, no other update than that on Siebel 24.4. Anybody else want
Well,
to?
I was going to say it's not controlled release. It's simply not yet available.
Yeah.
So the status on support said controlled, but
Yeah, well, it doesn't exist.
okay,
They're misleading you. It's
okay.
not to Fahim and everyone. It's not
Okay.
under control.
Yeah,
It simply isn't released. There's a problem. There's a problem in the in the release that we decided was of significance to the point where we wanted to pull it back out, and that takes time to do and to retest. So I'm hopeful it will be out soon. We still have a few days of April left to properly call it 24.4, but yeah, that's the current state.
Sure. So yeah, appreciate the information, and sorry for calling it controlled release. So it's just not general.
Oh no, if that's what they did,
yeah.
if that's what support told you, I don't blame you. I'm just letting you guys.
Yeah, it's
I've
just
noticed that
not
happens for
generally
all of
available.
them. Like it seems like every month it shows up early in the month as controlled, and then eventually it's generally available.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I think yeah, once I think that's a system thing. I think that once because we have to upload it obviously before we release it. And so when we upload it, at that point it gets a patch ID assigned to it. But we're not ready to release it yet because one of the steps that we have to accomplish is then we have a team that then re-downloads it and installs it to make sure that it didn't get corrupted during that process of upload. And so during that period, it is going to be marked controlled. So it probably got put up there like that, but but in this case, it's a different situation.
Okay.
Where it's not available
but,
at all. But that's why I suspect you see it before it's actually released, is that there's a time period where we're testing the actual upload and download.
Okay, great to hear.
As you all know, that takes time.
Yes,
because it's massive across all 5 languages or all 5 platforms.
Yes, it is. So yeah, so that's you sure have everybody on their toes waiting for it, and it will be a great release again, and we'll talk about it in next Siebel Friday together with 24.5, hopefully. So, and the other news I want to share. So thank you very much, Brian and Carrie, for sharing this information with us. The other news is that Siebel has a direction and a future, as we all know. And the statement of direction just got updated in April. 2024 update for the statement of direction is available on my Oracle support. So that's the official document you can download from there. And with kind permission of Oracle, I'm always, every year, we have kind of a tradition already, I publish a summary on the Siebel Hub, which I would just like to share with you real quick. Just one moment. Okay, so here we go again. And so that's the article I published on the Siebel Hub. The link goes into your chat window right now. And there's also an article on the Oracle blog from John Bedford, which is linked in my article. It also mentions the virtual Siebel CRM Spring Council, the product council, which was yesterday. I'm not sure if some of you could join that. And sure that a lot of, I wasn't there, but sure a lot of the content was covered there. And I would, in the lack of, let's say, 24.4 news, I would like to go over these points really quick. So the document states that Oracle's goal is still, of course, to ensure all functionality currently in Siebel tools will be provided in web tools. And so that means a lot of exciting things ahead for web tools developers, which we all are, including enhancements for the applet editor, developer assist. So that's all content of the statement of directions. And again, with permission of Oracle, I'm allowed to publish that. And also workspace enablement for administrative data beyond LOVs and for OpenUI web artifacts and schema. Quite recently had discussions with customers who are actually asking about that schema and OpenUI manifest and artifacts part. So that's good to hear. That's still in the pipeline. There's also news about Siebel Cloud Manager, which will become, which is planned to become, of course, always take it with a cup of salt. Siebel Cloud Manager is planned to become more open, if you will, that it supports different vendors even, or OpenShift, for example, instead of just Kubernetes. So that is really something to look for. And one of the big news in the statement of directions is the open integration. So there's lots of rumors actually were then spelled on LinkedIn and the likes that Siebel will be microserviced. And so because the document itself mentions microservices architecture along the way with open integration, that will be based on the Helidon Java microservices platform, which is actually an Oracle product I found out just recently, which is open source. So that's going to probably change the way we integrate with Siebel CRM a lot. If I read that correctly, so I'm maybe interpreting a little bit. Also, it's slated to maybe change the way other APIs work, including the REST API. There's some miscellaneous topics in the statement of directions regarding test automation, getting more innovation, event publication with Kafka, getting more support. Also, again, mentioning the open integration framework to be aligned with the Kafka integration, and yeah, quite big, substantial announcements around certification for modern Java distributions, 64-bit architecture, Oracle 23C. So that's a real big announcement. So that will change the way we use Siebel from today. And then, of course, on a side note, I managed to just pass in Redwood UX, which is one of the bigger things that will happen or is planned to happen in the near future. And of course, no product announcement can go without artificial intelligence. So AI is supposed to be everywhere, including the Oracle database. And it's very true that, for example, Oracle database 23C already has a lot of built-in capability, especially the vector data type, which I think combined with the incredible high-quality goldmine of first-party customer data that you have in Siebel, when you combine that with the vectoring capability and LLM capability, there will be a huge gain for the Siebel community from combining these exciting technologies. So yeah, take a look if you can, not just at my article, also at the real statement of directions. You can get it from, yeah, as said, from Oracle support. So anything to say about the future direction of Siebel? Any bold statements?
Do you know if anyone has demoed any of the Redwood UX stuff?
Uh, actually, I know I was sitting in a demo last week in the.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
Is there like a demo out there of the Redwood UX stuff? Because we have a customer that was
Go-
considering maybe signing up for the beta program, and before they did that, they wanted to kind of see what it looked like.
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
it will be better for them to join the beta program. And in the beta program, you will definitely get to see the user experience and how exactly it looks and whatever things that we are doing for the UX application, a Redwood UX
Okay.
application. Okay.
Okay,
So-
I'll tell them that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Thanks, Himanshu. Yeah, sure. Best to sign up for the beta to get the Redwood UX information that you require. Yeah.
Do you have
So-
informations on where to sign up?
Yes, I will just share that one real quick. And actually, you were saying that is there any bold statement about roadmap and strategy and all those things, right? So
Yes, I was actually referring to a discussion on LinkedIn that I will just open, led by or started by Mayank Shekhar, who is Oracle Director of Product Management in the Siebel A team, and he has mentioned Siebel, the statement of direction, and John Bedford in an article on LinkedIn, which I have here, and yeah, I was replying there, and I said Siebel has a great past and even greater future, which was that bold statement picked up by others, and so I would like to feed this discussion into the Siebel Friday and back. So maybe you want to come back to LinkedIn to continue on that discussion, or please share with your site, your perspective on Siebel in the next few years. Yeah,
so, if you give me, unless you have something else, if you can give me a couple of minutes so I can share you a couple of slides that I would like to, if you are interested.
Oh yeah, sure. So that is the way Siebel Friday works. Yannick, you'll find that Himanshu shows quickly a few slides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Yannick, sure. You should be able to share.
Just an introduction. I'm
Yes.
Himanshu, and I'm in Siebel Product Management Strategy, and I focus mainly on the telecommunications industry. So that's why I'm sharing with you this Oracle Communications Concept to Cash to Care solution that we have few pieces already in this equation, and we are continuing to enhance that one going forward. So we are definitely investing quite heavily along with our colleagues in Communications Global Unit. So Oracle has different industry units, and Communications Global Unit is one of the key participants in using Siebel across different industries. So apart from that one, we have clinical trial, CTMS, that those are pretty heavily using it. And financials also, we have a lot of those ones. Utilities, we have customers. Public sector, we have customers. Today, I'm just going to focus on the communications one. So we have this initiative Concept to Cash to Care solution. And as you can see, in the center of that one, omni-channel CRM, we are positioning Siebel as the omni-channel CRM. So Siebel's sales catalog, unified cart, order capture, and CPQ. And CPQ, I would definitely give the credit of the term CPQ cloud, CPQ configure price quote. That term I would give the credit to our colleagues in CPQ cloud one, and then customer 360 and customer master data. So all of these capabilities where Siebel is quite strong, and we have extremely good customer base, hundreds of customers, telco customers, tier one customers who are using this application. We want to give them the end-to-end solution integrated with orchestration system, which is Oracle Service Management, OSM, and along with monetization, which is Oracle's billing and revenue management. So, and then this application will be on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure with public cloud or dedicated region cloud at customer or DevOps using CI/CD DevOps across the entire stack, and including the AI that we have. Some AI use cases for Siebel are already available. And then in the integration perspective, today we have already all these pieces integrated, and we have customers using it using our middleware architecture, AIA, application integration architecture. Going forward, we are going to continue to work with TM Forum. We already have APIs for TM Forum, and we are going to enhance those ones. And this then plus process integration. Now, over there, we need for all of these systems, we need an enterprise product catalog. And for that one, we have Oracle Launch as an application, which is available for that. And then self-service channels, you do need digital channels and assisted channels. Assisted channels, for sure, means Siebel is there for assisted one. We are making the Redwood enhancements will be one more piece where we'll be introducing it to make it simpler. Digital channels, we used to have ATG, and ATG still a lot of customers are using it, but we are looking at the latest Oracle offerings in this one, Oracle OCC, Oracle Commerce Cloud, which has Oracle Storefront. So those integrations we are looking at. Does that help? Any questions?
I have one, if I may.
Yeah, sure.
This is Yannick. So that the assisted channels, like, and the REST API is already just ready for those. Like, could we just communicate, send out, because we've been doing this with a number of technology that sounds like similar, where we're trying to basically guide an AI technology, by feeding that AI technology with some insight that we find, and in some cases it's like for personalization, personalized, like, customer experience, where you are trying to basically just provide like a better link to a document that the user is looking for instance, and so just wondering, like, how much of that we can integrate.
Yeah, so REST APIs means for we Siebel as a team, we release REST APIs in IP16. And I think if you have kept track with that one, at a high level, we have 3 types of REST APIs. One is for data, means account data and account or service requests or activities and all the first class entities that you have it in Siebel. And for that one, CRUD operations are provided pretty straightforward through that data APIs, data REST APIs. Then the second one we have is for business services. So any business service that we out of the box ship or the one that you create can be exposed as a REST API, as long as it doesn't have any user interact step and it is stateless. It's REST premises that it is stateless protocol. So you don't want to have any state maintained in that one. And so over there means, that's why sometimes we feel that SOAP still makes sense, because SOAP has this statefulness, and you can have the session. And once that session is established, then you can use that session token to go back to that same application of AI object manager and communicate with that one. So you will get better performance. But REST otherwise means we are exposing all the business services. Through business services, you can expose workflows also. And now we make exposing workflows also pretty easy. If you know the input arguments and output arguments, then you can expose workflow also that way. So that is the second category. And the third one is for our internal metadata. It's all the Siebel repository and all those things. The Siebel Web Tools was built using that capability. So REST APIs are there, and Kerry can elaborate on what are the enhancements we are doing. We are making those ones to adhere to the standards that open integration or open standard is there for REST 1, 2.0 or 3.0. So we are making our APIs as standards. Plus one more enhancement that was in the REST APIs was that if you have the Swagger definition, and then within Web Tools, we have a wizard that will take that Swagger definition, absorb it, and create the artifacts that are needed. So all those capabilities are there. So I think from the REST perspective, Siebel application is keeping up with the needs that we have from our customers, unless you have something that we should take care of.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, thank you very much, Himanshu, for sharing that with us. And I just want to be clear on that diagram you showed, Himanshu. Yeah, okay,
They had
it's on the screen.
Yes.
Yeah, so that omni-channel CRM in the middle of the diagram, right? That's Siebel.
Yes, that's Siebel.
Yeah, so that's
Siebel
Siebel CRM.
here, yes, Siebel CRM and orchestration. As you can see, we have a named application, and the monetization also means those are BRM, billing and revenue management, which is the billing system, and the orchestration is the OSM system.
Yes, okay. Is that it reminded me of DX4C, which has a similar architecture and reason. Is that DX4C actually like a new version of it, or is it?
That was my question actually, Alex. So it's like even like launch, same name, like launch experience.
Yeah,
like
so,
is it?
Yeah.
So DX4C was a SaaS component. It is a SaaS solution that we had, means we were working on the DX4C SaaS solution. And in that one, we had 3 components: the launch, the buy, and care. So based on that one, the launch one, we feel that we still need to have an end-to-end enterprise product catalog. So that is continuing. And the buy and the care one are kind of on limited controlled availability, and we are thinking how to take those ones forward. But right now, our main focus is going to be to continue with this approach, because that's the approach that we are taking.
Okay.
Because one thing that we realize is that SaaS in telco is a little bit difficult, because there are a lot of telcos, although we feel that the requirements of all telcos are generic enough that a SaaS solution will serve. But when it comes to actual implementation, there is a lot of work that goes into to make sure that the telco applications are catered to for one particular telco's requirements. And there is a lot of extensions and configuration that happens on the ground, and telcos have a pretty elaborate integration to other backend systems. And that one means even if this solution tries to depict that it is a complete solution, I can say that this one is an accelerator. We do need to, and those are the things that we want to make sure that the amount of time that it takes to bring this entire solution quickly into the marketplace, that's where we are going to invest. And whatever things that we learned from DX4C, our attempt is going to be to reuse that one in this solution.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks much, Himanshu, for clarifying that. That's actually super interesting, and super good news for the Oracle Telco customers. So, yeah, I would say now let's
I do have one more follow-up slide on this one, and
okay.
The solution components, and then all CRM aspects, including customer order and customer care, and then launch, product catalog of product offers, and BRM for charging and billing, and OSM for order.
Okay, these are the products actually combined. Yeah, then he clearly says here Siebel is the CRM, and that's the news that I would like to, let's say, have in bold letters on every social network that Siebel is a part of Oracle's future solutions, a very vital part, right? And there's an API on top of Siebel, which is continuously improved. So it's really great times to to work with Siebel. Okay, so I think, yeah, Yannick is ready to go. So please give a hand, put your hands together for Yannick from Germain.
So
yeah.
this is communications global business unit is taking the initiative. So I think if it comes from them, I think I definitely want to give them the lead. I just have inside information, so you can keep it. So I think either way, I think it is going to come out that way.
Yes. Okay. Thanks again, Himanshu. And yeah, so Yannick, stage is yours. You might want to introduce yourself a little bit and then go for it.
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you, Alex, for the opportunity. Very much appreciate it. So, and I see I see one client, hey Jason, in the room. So it's good to see, good to be with some of the people that have been using this platform of ours. So just to introduce myself, like Yannick, Germain, I've been running this business. I was an engineer at Siebel System for 8 years, from 1998 to 2006. And in 2006, I went on as a consultant, troubleshooting, working on basically large-scale performance issues with Siebel CRM. And 3 of the 4 clients that we work with, they basically offered me money for the tools that I had built to troubleshoot their problems. And that's how I started thinking, hey, maybe I should just use this money to actually build something bigger than that tiny script of mine. And so I made a first attempt in 2007-8 to build a product, and that kind of worked, but didn't really go anywhere. My means were very small at the time, so very hard to find the expert engineers to help me build a scalable real-time analytics product. So fast forward, in 2011, we basically started building a new platform and the intent of that platform is real-time insights, helping identify frictions that affect users, that affect workflows, processes, business processes. So how can we just analyze all those in real time, and how can we possibly detect problems before they impact business? And if we cannot avoid business impact, how can we quickly find the root cause? And can we have an automation framework that helps alert, resolve some of those problems when possible? So a lot of that we've been doing since 2011, and we've been growing in a bootstrap mode ever since. So we launched the platform in 2014, and that platform we've been growing with ever since. So I'm happy. I don't know if you can see I'm trying to move to the next. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll show you what it looks like for Siebel. And do you see the screen that says quick demo of Germain UX for Oracle Siebel CRM?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So we've basically for Siebel CRM, that's always been for me, not only because I was part of Siebel, but also because I always thought that if a product can do a great job monitoring the performance and troubleshooting performance of a technology like Siebel, then it's very likely this product is going to scale for other technologies. And that's always been the journey for us, is because it's Siebel can be super customized in so many different ways. The power of integration with the platform is quite humongous, and all that eventually needs to be monitored, and when problems occur, have the ability to just identify the pain points. The one feature we've actually that's been probably one of the biggest benefits, or it's easy to communicate, easy to explain the benefit of, is the session recording and replay that we have. So it's if you have 1,000 users on Siebel right now and you use our product to monitor Siebel, then our product is going to record 1,000 videos of the user's browser and what users see and what users do. And so that's been, it took us a few weeks to build a mock-up video recording of what users see and do, but it took us nearly 7 years to actually make that millisecond precise and make that fully searchable. So like you don't have to watch 1,000 videos. You can just find frictions at scale for these 1,000 users without actually watching all these individual videos. So a lot of that work has taken us like probably half of the time that I've spent building this platform, because it's quite because we don't want to impact the performance of the Siebel product or any other product. So obviously, as you can imagine, because huge amount of data being collected in real time, and so that's one thing. And then we have a pop-up, like a feedback, users feedback ability. So this is straightforward, like a little pop-up that shows up on the Siebel UI if you wanted to let the customers provide their feedback as they use Siebel, and that feedback falls right into the recorded video that we have. So it's easy to understand when user reports an issue. You can just replay what the user was doing right before reporting the issue. So it's all in context of the customer reporting a problem. We've been also we have workflow minings. We've spent a lot of time. There were a few of our clients really pushing us, trying to because since they knew we were recording millisecond precise of a user looking at Siebel and using Siebel, they eventually wanted us to actually just automate the inefficiency finding, like where do people waste their time, like when they go and work on a quote to order business process, like if you expect it to take 5 minutes and somebody spent 30 minutes on it, like why is that? Like so finding the extra 25 minutes is what really we've been in an automated way and at scale is the feature that another feature also that we've been building and fine-tuning over the years. And in 2014, when we launched a product, all we were doing is technology monitoring, troubleshooting in real time. So we profile Siebel script, and we for instance, we correlate, analyze Siebel Object Manager crashes in real time. We do a lot of those problems that may affect a Siebel application or another application. Do this analysis in real time, and that's how we started. Obviously, when we launched a product, it used to be called an APM. We just renamed it because for us it made a whole sense to actually let people know that we are very focused on improving user experience. So that's what it is, and I can show you a little bit of what the product looks like. Do you see my screen there?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
All right. So these are all like this is just for the sake of the demo, like a dashboard that we created, and we basically and Zoom is a little acting weird on me, but okay. And so we have like a dashboard, and I'll show you what a session replay looks like, just to give you an idea of what you could what you could get using our product. So right now, every row here equates to a recorded video of a user on application. Like, this is Siebel. This is, we monitor our own application. So this is the Germain workspace, some users on that application. And if you click on it, you'll basically just start watching what a user was doing on the Siebel application. And by the way, Zoom is I love it, and it's been slowing down our demos program. So oh yeah, okay, it's there. So right now, and I'm going to pause this for a second. You see that basically, so this blue mouse cursor, circle around that mouse cursor is really like the Siebel user. And this is the Siebel application, and our product basically just recorded this at whatever time. If you just restore that, you look at all the details of that that happened yesterday. A user used the application for like 147 seconds out of the 300 seconds that the user was connected to Siebel. And so if you want to see what the user did, well, then you just press the replay button, set the speed at which you want to replay it. So I'm going to set like, 5x just to give you a quick overview of what it looks like. And so basically you're just watching the user using the Siebel application. All these little icons here at the top are inside that we automated, analyzing automatically the session that our product recorded. So for instance, here, this is whenever a user did something that the customer considers critical, like, it's works on a quote to order process, and every critical phase of that process, you want a product to analyze. When a product detects that the user did something critical, it shows up like that as an icon, as a blue icon. This is one of my colleagues that added a comment. You can just add comment. You can add a note on the data just to say, hey, can you please take a look at this and just, work on this problem. So you just add a comment here and you just assign it to somebody. And this will basically create a note on the data right here and shows up as an icon. This is a user errors, as opposed to the errors that are just JavaScript backend errors. The user errors are the ones that really affect the end user. So we have the ability to analyze user errors at scale and just, differentiate them from like the one that actually don't affect users. This is a user clicking several times on the same UI element. This is a customer providing negative feedback, and the customer says, hey, the page was freezing here. So you see the actual, and then we're going to see the user providing some feedback probably pretty soon. And so the user you see that's our pop-up that is enabled on the Siebel application, and the user provided some feedback, and the feedback just showing up here. So and then like if you want to, on the right-hand side here, you have all the analysis of all the clicks. So I'm going to pause this because that goes too fast. But eventually, if you look at some of those things, like, I don't know, you can just take this one. Our product just analyze the performance of these two types of analysis that's being done from that screen. Either you look, I'm a technical user on the Germain workspace, so as a result, I'm seeing a technical view of what the transaction looks like. So this is literally like we are like, you might have noticed, like, this is an analysis of everything that's being processed during that click, from what was happening on the browser down to the actual logs, database, SQL, and so on. And these little icons help you understand where the data is coming from. So you see, and and there is details possibly provided along the way when detail is available. So that's for the the little overview of the session replay. And if I go back,
I think Yannick, you dropped off, or you mute, or your microphone. Not really intelligible.
All right, let me try this.
You're back now. You're back now.
Okay, all right. So I think the recording of Zoom is just slowing network quite a bit here. So basically, I was just saying that this type of analysis, you see the amount of time spent on the network service scripting, and you see here it says JavaScript profiling disabled. So yeah, by default, like we don't profile JavaScript. But there is you can enable that for the users, and eventually you will get a line-by-line script analysis of all the script that's being executed line by line, memory allocation, and so on. So typically what Google, the debugging extension of Google does, like, that's what we automate for Siebel customers and other customers as well. And this view is just an aggregated view, like to help you understand problems at scale. So if you have 1,000 users on on the Siebel application, trying to understand what these users are experiencing at a higher level, and yeah, that's for the little demo of the Germain UX platform. I did want to. Or do you guys have any questions or like anything that you would want me to show or answer there?
So there is Yannick. There's one question in the chat from Fahim. What do you mean by workflow mining? You mean process mining, user flow?
Yeah, business process mining. So if you have because this is about identifying where people waste their time, not in terms of like the technology time, but in terms of the work that they do on the Siebel application or another application, and having like finding where people spend a lot of time doing something, and was it really necessary to spend like 10 minutes doing a task when like potentially we would expect a user to spend only 1 minute doing that task. So business process mining. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And we have different in the documentation. I'm not going to get into the details because we had a business process mining engine when we launched the platform, but nobody was using it. And a couple of years ago, it's a customer on another application on Salesforce. They met us there and they were like, hey, do you have the ability to find where people are inefficient? And so they really pushed us to the limits of like doing process identifying loss of productivity in a business process. Thanks for the question. I did want to say a few things. So there is a documentation here that basically just gives you more details about, you can go and just, you'll see the documentation for the benefit for Siebel. There's lots of things to be told. And you see all the different type of things that we automate between users' feedback. So we talk about inefficiency finding, application performance monitoring, crash analysis, log analysis, scripting for script profiling, and so on. So plenty of things. And then like what do you deploy and how do you deploy it? What do you configure? There's lots of things that can be enabled when you do when you monitor a Siebel application.
Okay, there's one more question on the chat from Nick. Does it track REST calls and/or login attempts?
Oh, very much, both.
Okay, so when you have an REST integration, incoming REST calls are also monitored in the similar way?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. One place you can go in our documentation that it's a little scary because there's a lot of, it will show you how much a product collects. It's the KPI section. So that's all the pre-configured KPI, and you can create your own KPI. But when it comes to like, all the KPI that we have pre-configured in a product, you'll see there is this notion of not only KPI, but so here they are the KPI for the business process mining. And this is what's pre-configured in a product. Then you can pivot on each of those KPIs as per different dimension. So you see that for technologies, and you will see there is like, a huge amount. Some it's not even specific to Siebel because, Siebel is integrated with a ton of technology. So we monitor Siebel, but we monitor everything around it. So yeah, a lot of things. Take a look at the KPI section there, and you will see it just gives you a very detailed overview of what's in here.
Okay. Yeah, I've just in parallel, I've just been pasting URLs to the chat. One is one of your YouTube videos, which shows the Siebel stuff that you have shown live, and the other one is a link to that documentation you have. And I see 2 more questions at least in the chat.
How do you segregate service? How do you segregate service user like API calls from external integration calls and the actual sales rep agent? I don't even know where to start, because we do a lot of those. Like we do a lot of those. So like the segregation can happen. So when you configure a product, just to show you how far this goes, like I'm going to go to the system section and I'll show you. You can write in that version of our product. We moved it somewhere else. So I'm going to have to find it. Where is it? When you configure a product, like you can go all the way to actually writing code, and these are rules that you write. And basically, so it goes, it's like, customizing Siebel, where you write a script. Well, here, like, it's writing Java code, basically, within our own product. And that customization, so that's, if you really want to get technical, you can go and customize the hell out of this platform. You can really do this by writing Java code in here. So some of that aggregation may just happen through code, but some of those segregation may just happen on the UI. Like, once you've done all the data collection, then potentially you can build up a dashboard. And if you build up a dashboard, like, the very first thing that you do is just go and add a little portlet like that looks like a table or looks like a geographical map or a flow. You pick your KPIs. So, I don't know, like whatever you want to pick, like, you pick the session replay I was picking. So if you have like a REST APIs or actual sales rep agent, like you could dissect the session replay based on different pivot. The pivots are all listed in here. So you have, it gets very complicated, but eventually it's so that you can do this segregation per type of calls, analyzing the sales call per agent, and so on and so forth. So that's another way of building a dashboard and pivoting on some of the data that we collect. Then you can also, at the top of every dashboard, we have a search capability, and you can also search for, like, anything that you would want to search for, like, username, and so on. So and you can save those search and so on. Like, it's just it gets very detailed. I mean, I'm doing whatever just for the sake of showing you that there is filtering capability. But so that's what was the other question? Do you have a pre-canned ROI document? So that would be what you've, and excuse my what, can you expand on that? Like, is there anything that I've shown you in the documentation that's missing? Oh, we do, and actually it's a very no, I was wondering what you mean by pre-canned, but obviously we do have ROI spreadsheet. Yeah, it's I'm happy to share that, like, offline, because this is not something that I have, like, I would need to clean that up and send you, like, potentially it's a Siebel specific ROI template if you would want it to. But it goes pretty far, because like, when you configure a product, the type of analytics you can configure is quite significant. So it's it's all about where do you want to actually save money, and based on that we expand on the ROI template that we have. Yeah, we try to be as cost as effective as possible. That's for sure. Anything else you guys would want to know? I did want to just say two things, because initially, I started talking to Alex about AI and about Kafka, and that's how this story started. I wasn't even thinking Alex was going to give me the opportunity to demonstrate what we have. Initially, I just heard from him about some topic around Kafka and AI. Like, for instance, I know that obviously Siebel is relying on Kafka, and this is something fairly new for us. And I wanted to touch upon these two things, because I know we've been really truly benefiting from Kafka over ActiveMQ, which we've been using ActiveMQ as the message broker, since 2011 when we started building this platform. But last year we started migrating over to Kafka, because Kafka is not only it's way more scalable, and it helps us achieve more real-time insights, basically. So that's really what we were trying to get, is as we use AI capabilities, there is one component that we were missing, which was the real-time component, in the sense of you get in-flight data. The data doesn't even make it to a data store. It's right in the message broker, and eventually you still need to get that access to that data within the broker to be able to provide insight, feed an AI capability, and so on. So we've been using Kafka, and it's quite amazing to see how scalable it is, and how well it can help us achieve those real-time insights identification. And so I don't have tons of things to share on Kafka, other than it's great because you can actually just have a set of clusters. It's for scalable. It's not only a message broker, but it's a data store. So you can access your data, and that power is pretty humongous. So I'm pleased to hear that Siebel is using Kafka, because this is really making a difference for us, and I can only imagine everybody should be just relying on a technology like this, in my view. On the AI front, so for nearly 14 years, all we've been doing is outside AI. And the reason, for me, there's two reasons. One is we don't have enough engineers to do both. Some of the engineers in my team have AI PhD and AI level expertise, but eventually all we've done for 14 years is building a platform that collects as deep as possible, the richest possible data in real time. And a platform that not only collects that in real time, but finds problems in real time. But now we are starting with AI. So last year we prepared the groundwork we prepared a product to be AI integratable, and we've been already using these technologies, these models, for different use cases. And some of the use cases that we have been focused on since the start of the year. And it's quite amazing, because AI is as good as the data set. So if you apply inaccurate data set and you give that to an AI solution, the AI is not going to actually, it may do some great, it may be able to create some great data, creating a new picture of somebody based on a vague picture of somebody else. But for our use case, finding problems in real time, you need to have very rich data set. So now we are seeing the benefit of using some of those AI models. It's quite amazing. So for us, it's a new journey. Although I've been in the Silicon Valley since '98, and at Siebel we were trying to integrate the iLog libraries, But computer speed and network speed were so slow that that didn't go anywhere. Not because of Siebel, not because of iLog, just because of the infrastructure that was just not keeping up with what these AI models really need. But obviously these days, like, we don't have these problems anymore, right? Like network is fast, and cell phone and computers are very fast. So all these technologies are starting to shine, like, again, if they have access to the right data set. So that's where we are right now. How often do you tend to update and comply with Siebel latest release? Well, as often as our clients ask, because our clients are like they are giving us the opportunity to grow and to grow as a business. So the bottom line is, when a client is asking for something, that becomes our top priority. So if there is a new version that needs to be supported, whether it's Siebel or something else, we support it. Just we take that as the number one priority and deliver that to them.
Hi all, this is Himanshu once again. So the slides that I showed, the first slide is definitely in the Siebel statement of direction. But still, I would like to let the CGIU people, means I definitely don't want to steal their thunder. So please be cautious. Means, I won't say that you can talk to individual customers about what these plans are, but they will come up with the official release. Just want to let everyone know about what I shared earlier.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
you.
And, so that's, I didn't really come very well prepared for this call, but I was excited to just talk to some of you. So just to conclude, I truly want to thank Alex, because it's an opportunity for us to just introduce what we have, and it's been a journey for us to just build this platform. There's a few documentation, like using Kafka, because we use Kafka and we also monitor Kafka. I forgot to mention. So this is so we use Kafka, and it's still considered a new solution in our enterprise product, but it is something that we are moving forward with. And if you want to monitor Kafka with Germain, that's also something that we have done for some clients, and that's the link to the documentation for the Siebel specific insights that are automated by the Germain UX platform. And we offer a 2-month free trial. So this is real. What we do is we actually and it's not only a trial. We will work with you on the trial. So we'll set things up for you if you wanted to. If you want to set things up yourself, you're welcome. We give you 2 months to just, ideally we want to help people, because very quickly we want them to see the benefits. So this is something we've been offering since the start of the year, and it's been working quite well. So this is still going on until mid of the year. Maybe if it keeps going well that way, we'll extend it. But so far, it's this offer is until like July of end of July of 2024. That's all, Alex. All I have to say. Happy to answer any other questions.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still busy picking up my jaw from the floor of this incredible presentation, and the sheer, this incredible breadth and depth of information that you can get out of these clicks and interactions. So yeah, to echo what Nick says, totally awesome demo and insight. Thank you very much. Yannick, again, we have met before in decades ago, and still going strong with Siebel. And there are a lot of questions coming in the chat. So if you want to stay around for a little bit more,
totally,
and tend to these questions, if you have a little bit of time. Yeah. So
I have a hard stop in at 9:30, but so far so good. So can report be created? Yes, and not only created. So you have two ways of creating a report. Either you just, you see a dashboard and you just basically just generate a report. We change all the icons, so I'm getting lost here. Okay, that's the one. So you can print or generate a PDF, but then if you want to automate report creation, so the report creation is in the automation section here. You can just see, for instance, here, this is a report on a failed login attempt on our own workspace. That's a report for Siebel, and when Siebel crashes. So you schedule the report, there's plenty of things that you can do. You want to set the time. You can set a cron job if you're technical, or you just set different type of report. These are emailed automatically. So yeah, it's then you can edit your report, the way you edit there is a report editor template. I don't have it available. This is a demo environment, but because it's not been configured, but I could maybe show you on a Cura environment to just you have the ability to just configure the template of the report, at a very granular level. So we need for failed logins, we need capture the bogus user from what IP. Yeah, I'm not hearing that anything we don't do. So I think so. By bogus user, what do you mean?
A user that's trying to breach, hack in with an ID that really isn't valid.
Yeah, I mean, we have the limit of what we do is controlled by two things: the technology that like the technology, the browser or the network. So whatever it is that the browser can produce in terms of data, we collect. As long as obviously the customer, you using our product, you allow a product to collect. So there is, but yeah, that's I know some of our clients have actually done this kind of analytics because they wanted to be alerted when I don't know, like a series of IPs or addresses log on to their platform and they are not allowed to. And there's plenty of options.
And this could be configured for any application, correct?
Yeah. If you go here in the documentation, you basically, so there's one place where you would want to go to answer that question. This is the place where we say monitoring. This is all the technology we've used, for the past 14 years. So Oracle Siebel CRM is one of them. There's plenty others. And this is only what's pre-configured in our product. But when you look at our product and you go to the wizard section, you'll see there is you'll see different technologies, different Android application, Android device, Tomcat, VIP app server. We are using using a Shopify. We have a customer using Shopify, and they are monitoring Shopify with our product, trying to understand why is it that customers don't buy or buy. So a lot of different things. I would say as of today, our biggest problem is our product is there's so much in it that our biggest problem is to make it to show it to customer and to make it to simplify some of the dashboard, to make it super easy and trigger specific to what it is that they are trying to do. But it's super rich insights for sure.
Okay, so you sure have created the Siebel CRM of monitoring tools here in that term. That's super complex, and you have to simplify it.
No, I mean, yes and no, because people need the data. So we do have. Maybe I shouldn't be so bad with ourselves, because we do have the data, and the data is what people want.
Yeah. Sure.
And now we have the ability to simplify it by it's not just within a few clicks. When you create a dashboard, you create the analytics, you tell Germain what to monitor, then eventually you need to define who has access to that monitoring, how much of that is going to be accessed. So you create those dashboards, you create those teams in the system to define visibility and so on. So it's, you know, these are team, and you can define like which team, like is it the technical team or a business team, and then you define the dashboard that, you know, that team is going to have access to, and so on. So, you know, it's things needs to be done to make things look super easy. But it's obviously a platform that we've been working, making that platform never say no, basically, whenever you need some sort of analytics or automation. But it's harder to do than say, obviously.
Incredible work, incredible. I see more questions coming in.
So the licensing,
Fahim, how does the licensing work? Yeah.
Yeah. So up until last year, the licensing was based on the volume of, it's based on the benefit you need from our platform. Because one problem we've always had is customers, they come and they say, hey, we've got 15 other real-time monitoring, and so we don't want to be paying for, like, you know, things that we already paying, like that we already have. And so how do we so for us, it was, we tried many different things, and then eventually we said, well, let's just price based on what the benefit that customers want to get from our product. And how do we quantify this? So we call that a unit, and everything in this product is a unit. So any analytics, any automation. And so if you want, because saying that you monitor users means nothing to me. It's how granular do you want that monitoring to be? Like if you monitor a user, do you want to monitor that user for 5 minutes once that user logs on to Siebel, or do you want to monitor for 24 hours? And how granular do you want the monitoring to be? Like we record videos of those users, but we can control the amount of data that's being collected. We can control the amount of insights. All that is quantified as a unit. So that's what we've been using for licensing. And we do that, so you use our product for an application like Siebel or something else, and we give you a license, like access to like 1 million units or 100 million units per day. That's what our product can process, and you know, it stops if it reaches that limit and resumes the next day. We've also been using, recently we've been approved on a few marketplace, you know, Shopify being one of them, Salesforce being another, where we actually, the pricing on this platform is totally different. It's based on, in one case, it's based on the number of users that are being monitored, and in the other case, it's the type of features that people want to get. So we're trying different things out, but you know, we're a small company, so basically we try and make it work to the for the client more than, like, you know, trying to enforce our pricing model, basically. Yeah, so we do both, and we pretty much do whatever works for you. So that's the short answer.
So that was the answer to the question.
Yeah,
Pay-per-use, yeah.
And units, but the units are billed upfront, like, you know, for 1 year. We get, so first of all, we do that trial for free, no commitment. So you try the product for 1 or 2 months or 3 months if you wanted to. And then, like, you know, we will help you understand what this is going to cost you, obviously. But we are, you know, we are extending, we're doing whatever we can to basically make it work to the client in terms of pricing. So it's always a battle, because, you know, we're always trying to bring like super talented colleagues, you know, to work with us. And on the other hand, we want to please people, just, you know, paying a fraction of what I'm hearing they pay with bigger vendors. But so it's yeah, it's always been a battle between the two, obviously. But we definitely, this is going to be a fraction of what you've been hearing out there.
All right. So, yeah, This is definitely one of the Siebel Fridays to to capture and to keep in mind when it comes to what is possible in the space of, well, not just Siebel CRM, of course, in your case, Yannick, it's you work with a lot of products, but what goes for an application like Siebel when it comes to monitoring. And thanks so much again, Yannick, for being with us today and for sharing your presentations, demos, and your time.
Yeah,
Much appreciated.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you everybody for the question. Very much appreciated.
Okay, so yeah, please give a hand to Yannick, and we are now about to close down the Siebel Friday for today. Unless there's something really super important to say. So
yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks
everyone, and
Thanks, Yannick.
take care. Have a great weekend, everyone.
You